You know, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's fair of me to say from time to time we always find ourselves thinking, yeah, we've seen it all, right? Surely the world can't get any more insane, ridiculous, crazy, delusional, whatever word you want to use. And then, the unbearable cackling hens on The View, oh boy, do they come around and quickly prove all of us wrong. And I tell you, what a show they had recently. You guys are gonna love this if you haven't seen it. They had special guest JDhillon Mulvaney. Yep, let's all give a round of applause to The View for being truly stunning, brave, progressive. But they had JDhillon Mulvaney on their show, nonetheless, to discuss his new book, Paper Doll, Notes from a Late Bloomer. And I'm sure many people will be going ahead and buying that one. Absolutely not. But of course, because JDhillon Mulvaney was on the show, they had to talk about how the world is such a terrible place for the trans community and how JDhillon Mulvaney is a victim in his new book and rights are being taken away, etc, etc. Actually, you know what, guys, can you just give me a second here, because this is... I didn't expect this to happen. It's truly emotional stuff. Is anybody else getting sick and tired of this? Because I am, for sure. I actually think it's my duty at this point as a straight white man to go ahead and write my own book and talk about how we are oppressed, how we are the victims, because everybody else seems to be doing it. Let me know, would you guys buy it? I'll go ahead and start it for you. But because the culture is slowly but surely shifting and common sense is coming back, these people, clearly, so clear in fact Stevie Wonder can see it, they can't handle it. Now, for anybody watching, by the way, who doesn't know who JDhillon Mulvaney is, I truly, truly envy you at this point. But essentially, he's a gay dude who one day decided he was going to insult all women and people's intelligence by starting a Days of Girlhood TikTok series, where every day he would document his experience identifying as a woman. I know left is right, up is down, and common sense is extremely hard to find. And for anybody that is familiar with all of that, great content, you know the controversy it caused. Look, you just know something is deeply wrong with society when one day a dude can pretend to be a woman and people clap and shit. It's stunning, it's right, and accept them as a woman. The weirder thing is, a lot of people who accepted JDhillon Mulvaney as a woman were women. Tell me how that makes sense. And not only that, by the way, if you're a dude now and you decide to identify as a woman, you get rewarded for it because it's considered, again, stunning and brave. You know, back in the day, which seems a very long time ago now, people got rewarded for doing things that were actually brave. But society today considers, again, a dude identifying as a woman brave. You know, I'm surprised they don't have medals for it at this point. I really am. Anyway, a few segments from this show, as I'm sure you've all seen, have gone viral because of the delusion, the insanity that was being said. I actually don't know what people were expecting, because when you have the combination of JDhillon Mulvaney and The View, you know you're going to hear something that ain't normal. But before we get into this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Just make sure to leave a like rating. It really helps out the video. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video, and let's all lose brain cells together. Don't say I don't do anything for you. So first and foremost, the Daily Wire have put out Whoopi Goldberg tells JDhillon Mulvaney that people who oppose men in women's sports... Oh man, it just hurts my brain reading this stuff out, it really does. But apparently, they don't know anything about women's or trans people's bodies. You're assuming that the women are weak and just can't do anything. Or maybe we're just aware of biological reality. 2 minutes long of this crap. Gonna be great.
Last week, California Governor Gavin Newsom said that he thinks that trans athletes competing in girls' and women's sports was deeply unfair.
Unfair. Of course it is. What's wrong with you?
Because I'll tell you what I think, too.
Yeah. The last time I played a sport, I was 6 years old, and I was on a soccer team, but I assigned myself as the nurse. So I sat with the Band-Aids. And so, in the words of Wicked, I am not that girl. But a dear friend of mine, Skylar, he is a trans athlete. His handle's Pink Manta Ray. That's someone who I really look to for guidance. And, and I think that is what's tricky, is like, now stepping in this identity. I'm still like a baby trans. You know, I've only 3 years in. Tomorrow's my anniversary.
Your friend went your friend went from female to male and is competing with other males.
Correct.
No.
Yes.
Her friend.
Her friend. It went from female to male and is competing with other males.
So Gavin doesn't have a problem with that.
No, well, I think part of the problem that the trans community is facing, and it's the same problem that women face, is if you don't know anything about our bodies, you don't know how it works. So when you come in and you say, oh, you know, these are men, you know,
competing
against women, you're assuming that the women are weak and just can't do anything except be here. Have you seen female athletes? They know what they're doing. So I'm not sure what's going on or why this is an issue.
I'm just not too sure what's going on inside your mind. What are you smoking? What are you drinking? It needs to be checked.
You do. God doesn't make mistakes.
No.
And
Wait, so according to Whoopi Goldberg, God doesn't make mistakes. So then that would mean nobody's born in the wrong body. Ah, interesting.
So I'm not sure what's going on or why this is an issue. The same for me as when people say, oh, you know, I don't know how I feel about you. You do. God doesn't make mistakes.
No.
And the challenge is not to the trans people, it's to the people who are not trans. That's what God is looking to see, how you treat people.
Yeah.
That's what.
What are you on about?
So I was just curious as to what. I liked your answer.
Thank you.
I liked your answer.
I feel like I've actually dumbed myself down by listening to that. I mean, does anybody really know what she was on about there? I don't think so. I don't know why it's so hard for these people to accept that men should not be competing against women. We all know the reasons why. People are tired of you trying to lecture people, trying to tell them that, no, this is how you should think. It's just insane to me how the panel is all women, yet they will sit there and they will defend men going into women's sports, women's safe spaces. They are part of the problem. Yet they'll get on their show and say, oh, men and conservatives are taking our rights away. I don't know how this show still exists. I really don't. But that's not the end of it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, because The View have uploaded a clip that is almost 3 minutes long. And it's titled, Dylan Mulvaney's Message Amid Attacks on the Trans Community. We are not monsters. And you can tell it's gone down really well, by the way, because there's 433 likes and 3.4k dislikes. And also the comments are turned off. I wonder why.
As we've been discussing, the trans community is really under attack in this country, right? With gender-affirming care for minors being banned, actually, in many states.
Man, please, Jesus. Stop me from saying something that's going to get this video taken down. To sit there and try and say that the trans community is under attack because gender-affirming care is getting restricted for minors is disgusting. These people advocate for child abuse. Plain and simple. Kids should be nowhere near that stuff. We know what happens to them. And yet people like Sonny Hostin will sit on TV and again say the trans community is under attack because gender-affirming care for minors is getting banned. Something is not right in the minds of these people.
The anti-trans rhetoric coming from some conservative lawmakers caused the Human Rights Campaign to declare a state of emergency for the LGBTQ+ community. What is your message to people in the trans community during this time when the community really is under attack?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think what we're living through is something that in the history books will be written about, and I want to make sure that my piece of it is advocacy. And it's interesting because people often put me as an activist when I'm really just a musical theater girl who now wrote a book. But I think if I was to be able to speak directly to trans people, I would tell them that the parts of us that they are attacking are the best parts of us, and that it's what makes us special and is magic. And hopefully they can see that. And if the folks who maybe don't see me as a woman, which is such a shame.
So let's try and understand why these people again seem to think that the trans community is under attack. You're telling me that women not wanting men in their safe spaces, their sports, gender-affirming care getting restricted for minors is an attack on the trans community. This is what they're trying to say. Nobody needs me to say this, but if you're a man, You do not deserve the right to go into a woman's space. That isn't your right. It never was your right. So how can you have something taken away from you if it was never yours in the first place? That doesn't make any sense. And Dylan Mulvaney is saying that it's a shame that people don't see him as a woman. So you're saying people should ignore their own eyes, their own ears, their own thoughts, and say, yeah, you know what? This is a dude just because he says he's a dude. Nah, that's not how it works. It doesn't matter how much you try and talk. It doesn't matter what you wear, what surgeries you will get. You'll always be a man. And the quicker people come to terms with that and accept that, the better.
The folks who maybe don't see me as a woman, which is such a shame, but I just hope that they can find a trans person who they can connect with to see that we are not monsters, that we're not trying to hurt anyone, and that we're really just doing our best the same as everyone else.
Beautifully said. Now, Dylan, who do you hope reads this book, and if there's one message they take from it, what would that be?
Oh gosh, I like to think of this as the kind of book that a mom could read with her college-age daughter. It's really for everyone. Anyone who likes to celebrate femininity. There's a lot of joy, and I had no idea that this was going to be the administration or anything that.
It's fun too.
It's funny. We got some jokes in there. We have to, and it's a little raunchy at times. And I think that it's for anyone looking to get a little bit closer to whoever it is that they are supposed to be.
The only thing people should be getting closer to is the man above. This should be a book, apparently according to Dylan Mulvaney, a mum can read to her college daughter. It's for everybody. Yeah, apparently it gets raunchy at times. What are you trying to sell to people? And I love how everything just gets unchallenged, because obviously the people on The View, they agree with this dude.
That I've only been on this transition technically for 3 years, but there is no finish line, and I just feel really grateful.
So you started writing the book before Trump's election?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes.
Wow.
And hopefully more books to come, but also I want to survive, and I want to thrive, and I want my fellow dolls to do so too.
Excellent. Our thanks to Dylan Mulvaney. Paper Doll is out now. If you want to shop the book, you can click the QR code on your screen. And you know... Yes, okay, so you know already that everybody in the audience is going home with a copy of Dylan's book.
So what have your kids got planned for Mother's Day?
I'm really happy that advert came, because I was tired of listening to that garbage. I've truly lost a lot of brain cells during this video. I don't know what's wrong with these people. There's something, again, just not right in these people's minds. To sit there and try and advocate for the things they're advocating for is just completely backwards. But this is what happens, when common sense is being brought back. These people just have meltdown after meltdown after meltdown. And they'll continue to lose future elections because they continue to go ahead with all of this. I don't know if they seem to realize people are tired of it, then they're done. They're gone. There's no saving these people. But leave your thoughts down below, ladies and gentlemen. What are your thoughts on everything you heard in this video? I'd like to know. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like rating. If you're new, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications so you never miss a video. Share this video, follow my socials down below in the description. But until next time, it has been your host, JD. Have a great day. Stay safe, and I'm out. Peace.